Now, there's a lot of food you can take when you're hiking, but they're definitely not created equal. Just today I was chatting to my mate who took backcountry, and it was like a bit of a romantic trip that they went on, and yeah, there's a fair few preservatives in some of these hiking foods, and you really want to avoid them. They're just not good on your stomach. The romantic weekend perhaps wasn't as romantic as they has a lot of sort of gastric distress. I'm so sorry, she'll kill me for that. Anyway, I've found some hiking foods that I absolutely love. They're good on your tummy, they're nice, clean, healthy foods, and huge mentions to Campers Pantry. That's my absolute number one go-to freeze-dried meal. And then Real Meals is a New Zealand food, but it's now stocked at Paddy Palin, so you can actually get it here in Australia. Today I'm chatting about food that I take on a 3-day hike. There's a whole heap of background into this. You could dehydrate your own. I've got a food guide that you can buy that I'll link below on how to dehydrate your food, what to pack, what brands I love. At the end I'll chat about some ideas just to make your food packing easier, lighter, and more nutritious. The food that I love to take on the trail, it's healthy, it's delicious, and it powers me for my hikes. So day one on the trail, you're probably getting up, having breakfast at home. You might take a sandwich or something like that for lunch. I've found Campers Pantry have these hummus packs that you can just mix up. So add a little bit of cold water, mix it up, and it makes the most delicious garlicky hummus. I love adding these to, say, wraps. So I'll bring just flatbread. It travels quite well in the pack. Depending on how crazy you're getting, you can add a bit of tomato, lettuce, whatever that you like to put in a wrap. That's my sort of main lunch thing that I'll make, is with these hummus packs, and they're absolutely delicious. I do have a discount code for Campers Pantry. I'll add in the comments below if you're keen to try some of that. When I'm hiking really hard, I'm not very good at stopping and having long lunches, so I often will just do a bit more snacking. And for that, I've found this amazing brand called Paleo Hero. The food's not the most lightweight, but it's super dense, calorie rich, delicious, real healthy food. So these are like little primal slices. They come in 2 different flavors, and I love these. These are like 400 calories each, and they don't weigh that much for 400 calories, and that's probably what you would need in a lunch. I love their little snack packs. They've got these, this one's a primal jerky. So this is delicious sort of spicy jerky, which has a whole heap of like nuts and stuff in it as well. Little nut bags, and these are just the perfect little size. And then I'll use this, say, as like a rubbish bag. They also sell like a heap of like really good, like sort of health food stuff. When I'm hiking really flat out and intensely, I get, I find it really hard to stomach food. And this is probably not in the realm of healthy stuff, but this is like a survival kind of a food. I love to throw these in my pack now, because when I'm feeling like that and I can't digest, this is like the most plain kind of wafery biscuit, but it actually packs a heap of calories in it. It's sort of like a survival prepper food, but it is really sort of basic and gentle on your stomach, and I find that works quite well when I'm in that mode. The other thing that's really important when you are working hard is to keep your hydration up. I've got a few different options for that. I love this brand. This is sort of a more natural, less sugary, intense Hydrolyte that keeps, I try to drink water mostly, but every now and again you need to get a bit of this in. I'm also quite a fan of this Scratch Hydration. I'll link to them below. They're really delicious. They come in a nice little packet, easy to use. The thing that's really been helping me on trail is to have protein at the end of the day. You can even start the day with a bit of protein, but this has changed my hiking, especially on those longer trails when you're pushing harder. I love to have a protein shake in the evening. It really, really helps me recover the next day. I don't feel as stiff and sore. I love Radix for their protein shakes. They are beautiful. My favourite flavour is vanilla, but they've got a whole heap of different ones. Then comes dinner, and I think dinner is one of the most important meals out on the trail. You've done the hard work, you're super hungry, you want to sit there and enjoy the sunset. These 2 brands I love because they really focus on healthy, I hate to use the word clean food, but healthy, no like crazy preservatives that will upset your tummy and make you smell terrible. This is an Australian brand, Campers Pantry. I love them. I really, really wish people knew more about them. Their meals are delicious. They're really healthy, and they're made here in Australia. I don't think I've had one that I haven't liked. They come in 2 different sizes. They're sort of like the normal size and then the expedition size. The bonus, there's like Sudokus and stuff like that inside. This is a Kiwi brand, so New Zealand. They're really yummy as well, nice and healthy. So yeah, totally recommend them. The other cute thing that Real Meals does is it has sort of like kids range, and my daughter will actually eat these on trail, so they're pretty fun to have freeze-dried meals for her. And the Campers Pantry meal, I really love this creamy chicken pasta, even the tuna blake, which I thought would be a bit of a weird one to be, for some reason on trail, a bit weird, but delicious. The red chicken curry and the green chicken curry are absolutely delicious. Without a doubt, my favourite brand. The other cool thing that Campers Pantry is doing is they have like these basics that you can buy. So you can buy like green beans, chicken on its own, beef on its own, all freeze-dried. Their mash is amazing, so perhaps you make your own bolognese sauce at home and you just freeze that and you can take it with you and then chuck this at the bottom as like your base. That's a really cool way of sort of keeping it a little bit lighter and not trying to cook pasta for hours on the trail. So you can just buy a whole bag of chicken and then create your own meals at home, and I've really enjoyed doing that, and I've got a video on that I'll link as well. So what I'll do is grab a a little Ziploc bag, and I'll add the proportions of what I want, say a little bit of beef, a little bit of flavours, so you just tip it in, put in boiling water and give it a mix and maybe warm it up. I've got a really cool beef ramen using the Campers Pantry freeze-dried gear, and it's just delicious. I made it for Caro Ryan, lots of fresh air. The other options when it comes to looking at dinners is Radix. I have to mention them. They are crazy nutrition, so much so that they've gone a little bit outside my delicious comfort range, but my partner Elsie still loves these. They're what we call dinner muesli, so there's very grainy, so many nutrients, so much protein in here for you, so much so that they have upset my friends' stomachs in the past because they're so healthy, so fibre rich. On Track meals, they have a few more preservatives in them, so people that are sensitive to that maybe be aware of that. They do this slow cooked Australian steak, which is just this big slug of a steak. It's not cheap, but it is a bit of a treat if you're getting a bit fancy and want to impress your mates. But my favourite meal, hands down, is the coconut ginger chicken. This is restaurant quality. You pair that with a nice base of, say, mashed potato. They do have a mashed potato, but probably if I was trying to save weight, I might use the Campers Pantry mashed potato. They're not freeze-dried, they're quite heavy, but these are really good on trails where you have to carry your water anyway. So I did a hike recently where we had to hike up to the top and we had to carry all this water, so there's not that much point in taking freeze-dried gear in that stage because I had to carry the water to rehydrate the food. Next up is breakfast, and Campers Pantry and Real Meals both do muesli type things. This is absolutely delicious. So is the Campers Pantry one. They do one with blueberries and hemp hearts, which is just mind-bogglingly good. It's super easy, just rip open the top, put some boiling water in, mix it up and eat it, and that for me on the trail is really, really good. It does end up being pretty darn expensive, so I've sort of started to do a bit of my own mueslis and stuff like that. I'm not a huge breakfast person, so it has to be pretty delicious for me, and that's where I'd put a huge shout out. Paleo Hero do this amazing primal muesli. They have a whole range of health foods, like they even have a vegan muesli. I guess there's no honey in it. This is still delicious. So for me, what I'll do is, get small plastic bags at home, tip as much as I need into these, and I'll put powdered milk in there, put the water in, jiggle it up in there and eat out of the bag, and then I like to rewash these and reuse them. A bit of a random one that I've just gotten into, and it's actually I'm very impressed with. It's OptiVenture, and this is like a nutrient supplement, and they've got like a sunrise thing, so they come with soft pouches. You can decant the number of tablets that you need. You have 3 in the morning and 3 at night. They're definitely not cheap, they're not for everyone, but where I think they are really important is when you're doing a longer trail, say like a week or 2 weeks or even more. They will really help you stay on trail when you are you're trying to eat all this healthy food, but obviously you're missing a few of your fresh fruits and vegetables that you just can't get as easily when you're out on trail. Obviously in the morning you want a nice coffee, and I'm a huge fan of Laughing Pug. I've got a whole video on making coffee on the trail. My favourite method is pretty much what they call cowboy coffee, where you just basically grind your favourite bean as fine as you possibly can, and then you put it in your mug, boil it up. It comes to boil once, let it settle, boil it again, and those grinds, because they're so fine, they'll fall to the bottom, and then you can just drink it. Other options with Laughing Pug, they have this really cool method of sort of like a tea bag, but it sits over your cup, so it's a pour through, and that I find is really delicious. You do have a bit of waste with the bags. I've got a full food guide on my website you can buy, and I'll link it below. I've also got a heap of videos that I'll try and link in a food guide. So it's how to dehydrate your own food, how to make meals using the camper's pantry, freeze-dried stuff so you can save a heap of weight. A few tips for saving weight and making things easy on trail. Preparation is everything. It saves time, space, and it just makes things so much easier when you're out on the trail. So do it all in your own home kitchen. Cut the things into what you need, the portions, the sizes, how much of this do you need each day. And I love to use Ziploc bags. I reuse them, I wash them out, I use them for rubbish bags. I like to put in the portions of each day. So here's my breakfast, it's got my powdered milk in there. I just add water in the morning and shake it up. There is always the temptation of eating heaps of junk food when you're out on the trail, lollies and snacks and things like that. But that's that short-term sugar hit that will get you, maybe when you're failing at the end of the day, you might need to chuck a few snakes in and get yourself up that last hill. But for me, I find I really need to continually snack throughout the day, and I want beautiful, healthy food. It's always good to just throw in, say, one more dinner or something like that in case you're stuck overnight and can't get home. That's why I also love these. They take up no room or space. I can leave them in there and they can get smashed around in my pack, and they're still good to go next time. Let me know in the comments what your favorite trail food is. I'm always looking for new ideas and I love hearing from you. I've learnt a lot from the comments in this YouTube channel, so please do share that with me. Check out some of my other videos as I talk more specifically about making coffee or making dinners on trail. Thanks a lot.